It was pure driving. It was real racing. And that makes me happy.
It was an emotional night when the award-winning Senna documentary film had a special screening in London in front of an audience of F1 insiders, ex-Senna mechanics and fans.
Oh my goodness, this is fantastic!
The film's director, Asif Kapadia, and its writer, Manish Pandey, were on hand to talk about their creation, as were some very special guests from Senna's life.
So as a huge fan of sport, for me it's this amazing opportunity to put sport and cinema together. And the biggest aim all the way down the line was to make a movie full stop. To make something that wasn't television, not a TV documentary, not something that, it had to be seen on a big screen.
I think we are watching the arrival of Ayrton Senna, a truly staggering talent.
But really, the film for us gets going at the end of the first act, which is when he becomes world champion. Because you can make a film about a man who becomes world champion, but really that's when the sport fights back.
You are competing to win. And if you no longer go for a gap, you're no longer a racing driver.
He was different to most of the other drivers in the way that, he drove from his heart rather than from his head much of the time, and that's very apparent in the movie.
Obviously, it's slightly biased towards Ayrton in certain issues within the film, but that's what you would expect. There's good guys and bad guys in cowboy movies, never mind motor racing movies. But I think it's good for motorsport. I think it's good for Formula One that such a film's been made.
He took us to Angro one time, didn't he? After we were testing in Rio. And the first thing we did, he stopped at a petrol station and adjusted the tire pressures on the combi. I was like, I says, Ayrton, I said, that's what you got these two tire men for. We can do that for you, mate. You just tell us what you want, we're going to give it to you.
What did I think of the movie? I thought it was a fantastic movie. It's one of the best sort of big screen documentaries that I've seen.
It was the last time either of them would be on the podium.
I said to him, you're the fastest man around. You've won the championship so many times. You haven't got anything left to prove. Why don't we both quit and we'll go fishing? And when you said something serious to Senna, he took a long time before he answered. So he looked into the distance for about a minute, and then he turned to me and said, Sid, I have to go on.
Ayrton ran out of luck.
We've got one more very, very special guest here. You will recall at the very end of the film, Mark Fogarty, our Australian colleague, asks Ayrton who's the greatest driver he ever raced against. Of course, we all, sitting in the room, expected him to talk about Prost. He didn't mention Prost. He mentioned Terry Fullerton, the 1973 kart champion. I'm delighted to say, somewhere in this room is Terry Fullerton. Where are you? There he is. Come on, please, on stage.
I did get mentioned at the end of the film. It made me feel very good, it made me feel very good. I'm glad he said it, and I knew he had a lot of respect for me. As I say, we were teammates for 3 years, so I knew he had a lot of respect for me. I often beat him, I often went faster than him, and he never really got the measure of me. So he left karting without really having the measure of me. I was still on top when he left, so I knew he respected me, and I thought quite a lot of him as a driver. It was just nice to hear it, him say it, especially all these years later. So it was great.
It was pure driving. It was real racing. And that makes me happy.